India's CDMO sector is exploding. Now, if you don't know what that is, let me share some ideas around this. CDMO means contract manufacturing. The companies that are based in India that manufacture drugs for other companies that are based out of India, mostly in the developed nations. Indian companies have a lot of manufacturing capacity, so they manufacture for them. And this space has been growing at an astounding pace. In 2023, it was somewhere around $14-15 billion, and it's likely to grow up to $44 billion by 2029. So it's a massive growth rate, somewhere around 14% per annum. Now, the problem with this space is it is really complex. So a lot of people are sharing ideas, like they're not sharing any sort of information, they're just pitching stocks. So it doesn't help. If you want to make an investment in CDMO, you should understand what is the sub niche, because there are 3 or 4 sub niches in the broader CDMO space. So the first sub niche is like small molecules. These are everyday drugs that pharma companies manufacture for other brands. It's like painkillers, antibiotics, chronic diseases, drugs. Now this category is growing at somewhere around 10 to 12% per annum. The growth rate is not bad, like it's fairly decent. Now the second category is Biologics CDMO. Now these are very complex drugs like antibodies for cancer and other autoimmune diseases. The biggest variable in this space is that most companies find it very hard to build capacity in the biologics CDMO space because first, it is very capital intensive. Like you need to understand what goes behind all things in the technicalities. And then there is a lot of problems that come from the US FDA, other compliances. In the bull run, these companies do well. But like when things turn south, like they're slapped with FDA warnings and inspection reports. So it's very hard to break into that space. If you're looking at a pharma company in the biologics CDMO space, make sure that the company has enough knowledge and experience in that space and that they have historically proven in their compliances and they have some drug approvals in the past. Because if you're just looking at a small cap company who is just starting biologics business, like it's ridiculously hard to break into this. If you're not from the pharma background, at least look at mid cap companies who have done it historically. And like the most important part, biologics CDMO is growing somewhere between 15 to 20% per annum. So it's growing much faster than the small molecules. The third category is new modalities. Now this involves treatment in like gene therapy, vaccines, and there is also targeted cancer drugs. The good news is new modalities is growing the fastest out of all of them. Probably somewhere around 25 to 40% per annum. It's likely to continue for the next 3 or 4 years. Now, India's CDMO sector is obviously a really hot spot right now, but there's also a lot of technical factors. The first one is internationally, like most of the countries are like deleveraging their positions from Chinese manufacturing. So they are moving into India because India is the next biggest manufacturing hub in the pharma space. Now, the second reason, which is probably the most important one, is that in the US, like in 2025, almost $63 billion worth of drugs are going off patent, meaning there'll be new manufacturers in that space, like $63 billion of market. That means Indian pharma companies can access that market. They can build relationship with this already established pharma brands and they can sell those drugs at an affordable rate. So this is the biggest one, and then there's US Biosimilar Act, but that's a different story. So these two are the biggest reasons that I think India's pharma sector will continue its growth rate in like at least for the next 3 or 4 years. So I'll definitely be posting more on pharma. What I would look at, like if you're an investor, what I would look at is what is the company doing, which niche is the company focused on, and what is the target market that they are trying to address. And that's how you'll be able to know. So that's about it. I hope you like it. Enjoy.